All right, it is time. We are gearing up for a level 1 tactical rifle course, and we are going to be using our old PSA 10.5. Uncle Dano was nice enough to hook us up with a Sig Sauer green dot. I think this is the Romeo 78 model or 76, I forget. I'm not well versed in these green dots, so you'll have to bear with me. But it's got a little dial. You can crank it up and crank it down, and it seems to put our sight just above the iron sights that are on the front end of this 10.5-inch barrel. But let's go ahead and run out to the ranch. We're here for the Rifle 1 course, and we wanted to go ahead and just make it a independent review video at the same time and let people know what they're getting, because this is a pretty involved course that covers the ballistics of a 5.56 round.
Recoil straight to the rear, straight back forward.
These guys didn't spare any time, and we really just went right out to the range and started running our guns. Of course, we went over some basic safety info and immediately went to making sure that our sights were lined up and that our shots were going where they needed to go. But TK's red dot's been giving him some trouble.
Out. It'll disappear in the green light. Do your best. Film floss will suffice. Basically, having your gun get jammed in an A column or a window and you can't extricate yourself from or burn to death. So having that quick disconnect capability in a sling is, I think, a very wise decision if you're doing stuff other than just flat range.
And I said, stand by. Every single one of you will go.
My hat goes off to our instructors, as these guys knew their stuff when it came to these rifles and did a pretty solid job in demonstrating how we needed to make sure we were operating them and the drills that we were running.
Bucko 4.
Hi, ready. We're going to start from, what does this look like?
5. Yep. Stand by. One more. Oh, there's .91.
Now, there weren't a whole lot of breaks throughout the course. This was an 8-hour day where from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. we were shooting these guns non-stop.
I want to watch your method. What? That's wicked.
Overall, there was a really nice mix-up of folks. We had some guys that were veterans, others that were in charge of a security team, or maybe they had their own security business. But all of our shots were relatively consistent. We were able to put a solid size hole in each of our targets.
Break this before I break this. Now, when you guys start, change it up. Each iteration, do a different ready up position so you get more reps, okay? All right. On the buzzer, I'm just going to move smoothly through this, okay? Is to deliver more ammunition.
Special shout out to our best bro Brian for hooking this up.
Gun's kind of like a woman, responds to touch. Right.
Before every drill, these guys were making sure that they gave us a thorough demonstration on their own target, so we had a clear understanding of what was expected of us before we performed whichever drill we were doing.
If you want to start reactive fire, start off kind of slow, all right? And then we're going to slowly build tempo. So let's speed it up just a little bit. Same thing. And he's going to pay attention to the green dot. Treat it like your red dot. All right, stand by.
Not to be someone that pisses and moans, but about halfway through the day, I noticed my finger was starting to get eaten up pretty good by the trigger guard. But once again, we were putting in some rounds and a lot of reps, and it wasn't long until we were shooting a lot of the same holes through our targets. Everything that was outside of the A zone, so to speak, had to be taped up, and we were sent back to reload again and again.
You're pretty sure that based on your body mechanics, you can land those shots. So what I'm going to have to do is do some of that, and just going to give me 2. Stand by. So, it was a case. If you guys heard it, it wasn't like kicking back.
Now, there was a pretty big focus on target acquisition, not just one, but multiple targets. So the drills began to escalate towards the end of the afternoon, and basically had taken the skills from earlier in the day that we had worked on and bundled them together to create scenarios in which we would have to eliminate more than just one or two threats, but several.
All in one fluid motion. And he's resetting and reprepping the trigger. But there's no wasted time on that next target, just as fast as he can. He's ready to shoot again.
After about 6 hours of shooting, DK and I got a teeny bit fatigued, and we weren't necessarily following the drills as good as everybody else. So it was a little entertaining, to say the least, that I was not the only one struggling, because this is typically not something that I would be doing.
Off the table. It's not going to be that. It's great. So we can kind of track his accuracy. All right, go 1 round on each target. Stand by. It's predictive, but good pace, right? When you go up to shoot this the first time, shoot it at this speed. Stand by.
Back. You're either loading or talking shit, okay? Whatever you want to do. This is a free range.
So at this point in the course, I was a little burned out on shooting these same cardboard targets, as each of them had a giant hole in the middle of its chest. So it was a little hard to track our shots and where they were going, like we did in the beginning of the course earlier in the day. Although several others seemed to really enjoy it, as we split up into teams and basically were rotating and taking turns on who was shooting in a sequence versus who was actually judging the shots and letting that other person know if they were good shots or not. Now, I'm confused why this guy was even in the course, because he didn't make a mistake the entire time we were there. He didn't shoot outside of his original hole the entire time. So kudos to him for being the best marksman on this particular day. As for the rest of the guys, Uncle Brian, Uncle Daniel, they went to work and really enjoyed doing the repetitive shooting at the cardboard targets. But if I was to offer up any 2 cents, any advice to the range instructors or the people that run this operation, for $500, I think it's safe to say each person should be able to get more than just one piece of cardboard. I mean, it would have even been fun if we could have stretched this out to 75 yards and maybe shot some clays that were laid out up in the hill, up on the bank where our rounds were making impact off in the distance where you see those dust clouds. But anywho, just a little food for thought. I thought it was overall a really fun course, and learned a lot. I mean, there was things that I had never really considered. So, it was a good time. Definitely had my fair share of shooting. DK and I finally threw in the towel, and we sat back and just watched the rest of the guys have at it, as we were pretty much cooked from being in the sun the last 7 to 8 hours, and we were ready to call it quits and head home. But special thanks to everybody in the course for playing it safe, following the rules, and just being friendly. I mean, we had a really nice camaraderie. Everybody was able to enjoy themselves and cut loose. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Appreciate you guys watching.